For those of us who absolutely love fashion, well, my guess is that you probably are familiar with the concept of the capsule wardrobe, and we've all seen the videos on the classic Parisian chic capsule wardrobe, the quintessential French gal. It's very inspiring, but how many of us are really doing it? Hi gals, welcome back to another episode of Zero Waste Closet. I have been so incredibly excited to make this video for a couple of reasons. One, the awesome topic, and two, we are featuring my first brand collaboration with a footwear brand that I am so stoked about, so more about that in just a moment. So let's just talk classic French gal style for a moment, okay? So I don't know what it conjures up in your mind when you think of the prototypical French woman, but most of us have seen an episode or two or 10 of Emily in Paris. And while Emily herself is an American living in Paris and definitely over the top, I do think many of us have found inspiration in her boss on this show, Sylvie, who does represent that prototypical French woman. You know, sexy, so confident, always chic, everything always put together and in place. In reality, all of those ideals sometimes have a hard time translating into real life because many of us are very casual people living a casual life. If you live in Arizona like I do, or in a hotter climate, you will know that there is not a ton of room in the closet for blazers or stiff fabrics, or even lovely silky fabrics where we're gonna be showing, frankly, sweat stains. Not only that, but I'm gonna tell you guys something if you're not familiar with the Arizona climate. When you start to get really hot, or maybe you live somewhere else, but you've just had a really long day, the last thing that you wanna be stuck in is a pair of really uncomfortable French-inspired high heels just because they look chic. At that point in the day, chic is a lot less important than comfort. So this brings me to the topic of today's video. Gals, if you love that ideal of Parisian chic, but you really want to be able to carry it into real life, I am here today to offer you some very useful hacks. The first and my favorite place to start is with the feet, and this is where my brand collaboration with Cosy Island comes into play. So you guys, this absolutely awesome footwear line reached out to me. They really resonated with my channel here, and I took a look at what the brand mission was and went, oh, this is what I am all about. And then I saw their styles and was like, this might actually be the perfect marriage. I am obsessed with the brand's motto. We didn't reinvent the heels, we reimagined how it feels. So the whole idea is you can look great and also feel great. What a totally novel concept. So gals, I have to tell you, I have been looking for literally years, because that's how long I have been obsessed with the French ideal, for a pair of heels that I could walk in for more than 10 or 15 minutes. Many of them I can't even walk in for 2 minutes, but I have found some where I've thought, you know, this could actually work. But in all honesty, they always end up on the sidelines. Well, Cosy Island is completely different. So gals, check this out. When you go to their website and you wanna learn about the brand, this is what you find out. They say we've combined seamless fabric with a tech-driven midsole for flexible support and cushioning, boosting breathability by 62% and reducing foot fatigue by 58%, ensuring all-day comfort with no burden. I don't know about you guys, but when you get that level of comfort, you kind of expect a really earthy looking shoe. Not here, ladies, not here at all. So go to their website and you will see that they have everything from heels and pumps to slingbacks, mules, all kinds of styles of sandals. And then for the cooler months, they've got the best selection of boots. I am literally so excited to start adding to my collection. And if you guys watched last week's video, you know that I am doing my Project 333, my compact wardrobe right now. But in all honesty, full disclosure, I am going to be swapping some of my styles for some Cosy Island styles, because frankly, at the end of the day, I want to not just look good, I want to feel amazing. If you guys share my priorities and you want to score some for yourself, then I'm going to put a discount code for you in the description box below that will give you 10% off of that first purchase. I'm sure you guys are probably waiting for the big reveal. What are the shoes that they actually sent me? Well, they were awesome. Cosy Island let me pick out the ones that I wanted, and I looked through their new fall collection, and oh my gosh, I fell in love with this pair of kitten-heeled mules called the GraceLithe mules, and they are gorgeous. I wanted them in the leopard print because if you guys watched last week's video, leopard to me is a form of neutral, and it just adds a little extra chic to some of my more basic pieces. With a flared heel for stability and just a super cushy insole, it's actually the mechanics of this shoe that won me over. Quite possibly my favorite part of the shoe is that it has an elastic upper, so my bunion pressure is completely relieved, which I have found in no other pump. Additionally, I am on and off my feet all day, so this cushioned insole is amazing, supporting key pressure points for lasting comfort on the ball, the arch, and the heel. And finally, for simplicity, there are no buckles and laces, just slip them on and go. All right, friends, so hack 2 when it comes to bringing French style into real life is to really fall back on the concept of contrast dressing. Contrast dressing is all about juxtaposition. So for example, if I am going for something feminine and very flirty, very girly, I'm not gonna dress that way from top to bottom, but I'm actually gonna bring in some type of juxtaposition into the look, like for instance, putting on a combat boot with a very floral and lightweight and ethereal top. So how does this help us be more French in a realistic way? Well, I love to take the ideal in my mind of a blazer. I always see blazers featured in French-inspired capsule wardrobes. But then when I try to take my blazers into real life, I have to be careful because I am very laid back and casual just by nature. And if I'm not careful, everything can feel too stiff and too structured and just frankly too formal from top to bottom. If you want to make a blazer work for you in real life, well then bring in some contrast dressing. Put your blazer on over perhaps a cotton ribbed tank. Bring some denim into the mix to balance that whole work vibe out, and maybe even pair it back to sneakers. And for maybe a more elevated look, take that same combination and bring in your very comfortable French-inspired shoes. So hack number 3 for how can I be more French and have that je ne sais quoi without breaking the bank or having your wardrobe not really work for real life is to truly focus on pieces that suit you, and then the key is wearing them over and over again, not being afraid of outfit repeating. French women are not. So gals, let's work with a little example. Let's work with my new Veronica beard dress that I got at the Nordstrom anniversary sale that you guys saw in my recent capsule wardrobe video. So take a piece like this, pop it into your capsule wardrobe and make it work for real life by just being creative enough to see the versatility in this. So this is a dress that ostensibly looks like something that you would really dress up for a more serious work environment. So for me, that might mean popping it on with my cherry red pumps for a sophisticated and yet fun look. Well, I can wear this again and again by simply changing switching up the shoes. Maybe I want to pop this on with my new Cosy Island Mules for something that's just a little bit more playful and fabulous and brings in some print. Or if I want to bring this into a more casual vibe, maybe give it weekend vibes, I can simply swap out the heels for a pair of sneakers. And this dress does the mileage over and over again. Hack number 4, ladies, is all about comfort all over again, but on the clothing front. So you can find the silhouette that works. So I'm going to just give you an example of maybe the crisp white button-down shirt that shows up in almost every French capsule wardrobe video. And you can find the more comfortable, easily adaptable version of it. So in my case, I'm going to just give an example. I do love a nice button-down shirt, but very often if it's in a fabric like, let's say, a cotton poplin, it just feels so stiff and buttoned up to me that I find that when I put those things in my wardrobe, I almost never end up actually reaching for them. So the solution for me has been to find something like these velvet heart shirts in tencel. So I have this in a sleeveless version. Then for the cooler months, I have the long sleeve version, and I love tencel. You get the look, but it is just so much more durable. It's an eco-friendly fabric, the tencel is. It launders really easily, and it's just so versatile in terms of its styling potential, because when you get the stiffer fabrics, they feel much more suited for the office versus a softer, flowier fabric like tencel can easily be taken from the office straight into the weekend. And finally, gals, my last hack for you, just a little piece of advice, is don't work so hard to make it perfect. Just don't work so hard in general. One conversation piece per outfit is definitely my rule of thumb. So if you're really wanting to channel Parisian chic in the way that you dress, pick something simple. It could literally just be red lipstick. Maybe it's something quintessentially French, like a scarf, just casually thrown on with an otherwise very casual, easy outfit. Or last but not least, it could be something just totally French, like polished, beautiful, tailored, lovely trousers thrown on with something that you would wear easily every day and comfortable, like a tank top and perhaps a pair of sneakers or even some ballet flats. If you guys can think of any other tips for taking Parisian chic into daily life and making it really workable with real life, I would love to hear them. Drop those in the comment section below. Share those with your community. If you guys like this week's video, please make sure to give it the thumbs up. That really helps this channel. And if you want anything Parisian oriented, tell me. I want to hear that. Give me ideas for video topics, because this is one of my absolute favorites. And make sure that you are subscribed here to Zero Waste Closet. Last but not least, many of you know that I'm a realtor here in Fountain Hills, Arizona. So if you happen to be a local and you need help buying or selling, or even both, I would love to hear from you. Or if you're somebody from out of town who has been thinking of relocating to our beautiful state, or just maybe even thinking of buying a vacation home out here, maybe you're actually just interested in renting, well then call me, let's talk. I'd love to help. Have a great week, gals, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.